what nobody tells you about discipline. Usually, when they think about discipline, they think about willpower. They think about waking up one morning and deciding with great force of will that they are going to start doing the hard thing every single day for the rest of their lives. And every single one of those people fails because willpower is not the engine of discipline. Willpower is the spark. The engine is something else entirely. The engine is the structure you build in your life that makes the disciplined behavior the default, not the effort. And that structure isn't built by deciding. It's built by doing one specific thing every single day for 90 days. Here's the truth. There's no such thing as a disciplined person who relies on motivation. The disciplined people you see, the ones who get up early, work the long hours, write the books, build the businesses, raise the children well, save the money, those people aren't summoning willpower every morning. They are operating inside a structure they built deliberately over time. And the structure does the heavy lifting that the willpower used to. Today, I want to walk you through how to build that structure, not in some abstract way, in a concrete 90-day plan, broken into 3 phases of 30 days each. By the end of it, if you do the work, you won't be trying to be disciplined anymore. You will be disciplined. The same way the runner who has been running for 10 years isn't trying to run. They just run. The structure has become the person, and that is what we are going to build. I'm telling you, this is the most important thing you can learn about how to change. Forget the motivational speeches that tell you to just decide. The decision isn't the discipline. The structure is the discipline. And you cannot will yourself into a structure. You have to build it deliberately over time. Now, before we get into it, you must understand what is at stake. Because most people, when they think about discipline, think about the small daily benefits. The productivity, the fitness, the early mornings, those things are real, but they are not the prize. The prize is much bigger than that. You see, the disciplined person and the undisciplined person are not living parallel lives. They are living in completely different worlds. The disciplined person by year 5 has built things the undisciplined person can't fathom. By year 10, the gap is enormous. By year 20, they may as well be different species. The disciplined person is operating with 30,000 hours of compounded effort behind them. The undisciplined person is starting over every January. And here's the truth. The undisciplined person is not lazy. They are not weak. They are not stupid. They simply never built the structure. They have been trying to operate on willpower their whole lives, and willpower runs out every single time. So they have a few good weeks, a few bad months, a few decent years. And at the end of 40 years, they haven't accumulated anything in particular because everything they built got abandoned before it had time to compound. The disciplined person, meanwhile, is sitting on a mountain of compounded effort that nobody saw being built. They were just doing the same small things day after day for decades. And those small things, multiplied by time, became the body, the bank account, the books, the businesses, the relationships, the reputation that everybody else is wondering how they got. They got it by building the structure once and letting the structure do the work for the rest of their life. You can be that person. The structure is buildable. It takes 90 days to install. It takes a lifetime to draw the benefits. And the version of you who installs it now, who does the next 90 days the way I'm about to describe, is going to be living a different life by the time 5 years have passed. Not because you wanted it more than other people, because you built the structure that other people never bothered to build. Listen, let me give you a picture. The disciplined person at year 5 has the body of somebody who has been moving every day, the bank account of somebody who has been saving every payday, the mind of somebody who has been reading every night, the relationships of somebody who's been showing up. The undisciplined person at year 5 has none of those things. Not because they didn't want them, because they never built the structure to produce them. Structure is the difference. The structure is the entire game, days 1 through 30. You must understand what this phase is really about. It isn't about transformation. It isn't about momentum. It isn't about results. It is about one thing: proving to yourself that you can do something every single day without missing for 30 days in a row. That is it. That is the entire mission for the first month. You aren't trying to change your life in phase 1. You are trying to prove to the deepest part of yourself that you can be trusted to keep one promise to yourself every single day for a month. Without that proof, nothing else in this plan works. And here's where almost everybody goes wrong. They take phase 1 and try to load it with 3 or 4 or 5 new disciplines. They want to start exercising and meditating and journaling and waking up early and reading a book a week, all at the same time. They want to install the entire system at once. And here's the truth: they will fail within 2 weeks, because the human mind can't absorb that much change at once. The mind rejects it. The structure collapses. And the person sits in their failure, telling themselves they have no discipline. But what they actually have is too much ambition and too little patience. They tried to climb the entire mountain on day 1, and the mountain pushed them back to the bottom, the same way it pushes everybody back when they try that. Pick one thing, one. The most important discipline you can install, given who you are right now. For most people, this is a morning routine of some kind. Getting up at the same time, doing a specific thing first, before anything else. For others, it might be a movement practice. For others, it might be a writing practice or a reading practice. It doesn't matter which one. What matters is that it is one, that it is doable every single day, and that you treat it as non-negotiable for the next 30 days. And the discipline you pick must be small, smaller than you think it should be, smaller than feels impressive. If you want to start running, the discipline isn't running 3 miles. The discipline is putting on the shoes and walking out the door every single day. If you want to start writing, it isn't 1,000 words, it's 200. If you want to start meditating, it isn't 30 minutes, it's 5. The smallness is the design, because you must not fail in phase 1, not even once. And the only way to guarantee you don't fail is to pick something so small that even on the worst day of your life, you could still do it. Pick the time. The same time every day, including weekends. Pick the place. The same place every day. Remove the friction. If the discipline is exercise, lay out the clothes the night before. If it is writing, have the notebook open on your desk. If it is reading, have the book on your pillow. The structure has to be in place before the willpower is needed, because willpower won't be there every morning. The structure will. The structure has to do the work that willpower can't do. Now let me tell you what to expect. The first week is hard. You will want to skip. You will tell yourself it's fine to miss one day. It isn't. Don't miss one day. The second week is the hardest. This is the dip. Most people quit in week 2. The dip is the moment when the novelty has worn off, the results haven't shown up yet, and the discipline feels like a chore instead of a project. Push through the dip. The people who become disciplined are the people who push through that one moment. Everybody who quits, quits there. You see, the dip is also where most people develop the most dangerous habit of all, the habit of making exceptions. Just this once, just this weekend, just this one day, because something came up. And here's the truth. There is no such thing as just this once. Every exception you grant yourself becomes the precedent for the next exception. And by the third exception, the discipline is dead. You have to treat the streak as sacred. Weekends count. Holidays count. The day you don't feel like it counts. The day you are tired counts. Every single day, without exception, for 30 days. Because the streak is what is doing the work. The streak is what is rewiring the part of your brain that has been running you. Break the streak and you break the rewiring. By week 3, something has shifted. The action has started to feel automatic. You no longer have to think about whether to do it. You just do it the way you brush your teeth without negotiating with yourself. By week 4, you've done the thing 25 days in a row. And on day 30, you have done something you have never done in your adult life. You have proven to yourself that you can install a behavior. That proof is the foundation for everything else. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. In the first 30 days, nothing visible is going to happen. You aren't going to lose weight. You aren't going to write the book. You aren't going to make more money. The body is the same. The bank account is the same. The mirror shows you exactly what it showed you a month ago. And you got to accept that, because most people quit at the moment when their effort is doing the most important work, the invisible work of rewiring who you are. You have to trust the process when nothing is showing up yet, because the showing up happens later. The structure has to be in place first. Don't underestimate what just happened. You are not the same person you were 30 days ago. You have shown yourself with evidence you can't deny that you are capable of doing one small thing every single day for a month. That is the foundation. Everything else gets built on top of it. Days 31 through 60, you have proven you can install one discipline. Now you are going to do something that almost nobody does. You are going to add a second one on top of the first without dropping the first. This is the stacking phase. And here's the truth. This phase is where the real transformation begins. Because one discipline is a habit. 2 disciplines running together is the start of a structure. And a structure is what produces a different life. Most people, when they get to day 30, make a fatal mistake. They drop the first discipline and replace it with a new one. They get bored. They want variety. They tell themselves they have mastered the first one, and it's time to move on. And the moment they drop the first one, they have undone the entire first phase. Because the first discipline wasn't just about the action. It was about proving you can hold a behavior every single day, indefinitely. If you let go of it after 30 days, you have unproven that. You are back at the start. So you stack. The first discipline continues exactly the way it has been running for 30 days. And you add a second one. Just one, small, doable, at a different time of day if possible, so the 2 don't compete for the same energy. If the first was morning, the second can be evening. If the first was physical, the second can be mental. If the first was solo, the second can be relational. the pairing matters less than the principle. 2 disciplines running every single day for 30 more days. I am telling you, the stacking is what separates the people who change from the people who keep starting over. Because anybody can do 1 discipline for 30 days. Hundreds of millions of people manage it every January. The thing they cannot do is keep the first discipline running while adding the second. They abandon the first to chase the second, and they end up with neither. The stack is the structure. The stack is what builds the life. And the stack has to be protected, especially in this phase, because the first discipline is still fragile. It's only been running for 30 days. 1 missed week, and you have to start over. Let me tell you about somebody. I once knew a man who had failed at every attempt to build himself for 15 years. He had set the same New Year's resolutions every January and watched them collapse every February. He had read the self-help books. He had attended the seminars. He had ridden cycles of motivation, followed by collapse for so long that by the time he was 38, he had given up. He told me when I met him that he had finally accepted he was somebody who just didn't have discipline, that it wasn't going to happen for him. And I told him, you have it backwards. You don't have discipline because you have been trying to install 5 things at once and failing at all of them. Forget about being disciplined. Just write 1 sentence in a notebook every morning. 1 sentence for 30 days. And we'll talk about the next step. He looked at me like I was insulting him. 1 sentence is nothing, he said. How is 1 sentence going to fix anything? I told him, you let me worry about whether it'll fix anything. You worry about the 1 sentence. He did it. 30 days later, he came back. He had written 1 sentence every morning without missing. He didn't think it had done anything. He felt the same. He looked the same. He asked me what to add. I said, add 1 push-up, just 1. Every morning after the sentence. He laughed, but he did it. Day 31 onward, he wrote 1 sentence and did 1 push-up, 30 days of that. By day 60, he was writing not 1 sentence, but 200 words, because once he had the notebook open, it felt strange to stop at 1. He was doing not 1 push-up, but 30, because once he was down on the floor, it felt strange to stop at 1. The structure had pulled the behavior bigger on its own. He hadn't decided to do more. The structure had decided for him. By day 90, he had added a 3rd thing, 5 minutes of reading. He had 3 small habits running every single day. He thought it was nothing. He told me he still didn't feel disciplined. I told him, just keep going. Don't add anything else. Don't drop anything. Just keep going. He kept going. 5 years later, the morning writing had become a daily practice, and he had published 2 books. The push-ups had become a full strength routine, and he had lost 40 pounds. The reading had compounded into deep expertise in his field, and he had been promoted twice. His marriage had improved because he was no longer the man who hated himself every morning. His kids respected him because they had watched him build something every day for years. He told me the most amazing thing was that nothing big had ever happened. No moment of breakthrough, no dramatic decision. He had just been doing those 3 small things every morning for 5 years. The structure had done all of it. The structure had built the man. And here's the truth that he came to understand only in retrospect. He hadn't needed more willpower than the next man. He had just needed a different way of using the willpower he had. Instead of spending it all on 5 things and burning out, he spent a little of it on 1 small thing, then a little more on 2, then a little more on 3. And the 3 small things given enough time, did what the 5 big things had never been able to do. He said to me, I spent 15 years trying to be disciplined and got nowhere. Then I spent 5 years not trying to be disciplined and just doing 3 small things every morning. And I built more than I ever thought possible. That is what phase 2 is for. The stacking is what produces the structure. And the structure is what builds the person you are trying to become. Not in 90 days, over years. But it starts in phase 2, when you prove you can run 2 disciplines at once. And the compound effect begins. Because the first discipline reinforces the second, and the second reinforces the first. They share a foundation in your mind. They become part of the same identity. The identity of the person who does these things every single day. By day 60, you have run 2 disciplines at once for a month. The thing you must not do is congratulate yourself and stop. You are not done. You are about to enter the most important phase of all, days 61 through 90. This phase is different from the other 2. Phase 1 was about proving you could do it. Phase 2 was about stacking. Phase 3 is about identity. It is the phase where, if you do the work, you stop being a person who is trying to be disciplined and become a person who is disciplined. You see, the difference between those 2 people isn't behavior. They might be doing the same exact thing on day 59 and day 61. The difference is internal. The difference is how they describe themselves. The difference is what they believe about who they are. Up through phase 2, you have been somebody who is doing these things. By phase 3, the goal is to become somebody who is these things. The doing has to drop out. The being has to take over. Here's the truth. The shift from doing to being is the most important shift in your entire life. Because once you are this person, you don't have to manage your behavior anymore. The behavior just comes out of who you are. You don't have to debate whether to do the discipline. You just do it because that's what you do. You don't have to bargain with yourself on hard mornings. You just get up because that is what you do. The decision was made not by today's version of you, but by the long accumulated version of you that has done this every day for 2 months. In phase 3, you add the 3rd discipline. Same rules as the 2nd. Small, doable, different time of day if possible. 3 disciplines running every single day, all together for the next 30 days. By day 90, you will have done all 3 without missing for 30 days in a row. And you will have done the first one for 90 days, 3 months, without missing. That is something almost nobody in the world has done. And the doing of it changes who you are at the level of identity. And you have to tighten the standards in phase 3. Not dramatically, just slightly. If the first discipline was 200 words a morning, it becomes 300. If the second was 30 push-ups, it becomes 40. If the third was 5 minutes of reading, it becomes 10. The increase has to be small. Because the rule of phase 3 is raise the bar, but never to a height you might fail to clear. The continuity is more important than the size, always. And here is the trap of phase 3. The trap is thinking you are done. Day 90 is going to arrive, and you're going to feel like you have completed the program. Like now you can relax. Like now you can take a few days off and resume next week. You must not do that. Day 90 is not the end. It is the floor The moment you take time off, you start over. Everything you built collapses faster than you think. The identity was thin. It needed another 90 days to set. Then another 90 after that. The disciplined person isn't somebody who did a 90-day program. The disciplined person is somebody who never stopped doing the three things year after year, decade after decade. The 90 days is just the runway. The plane has to keep flying. By day 90, if you have done the work, you won't recognize yourself. The mornings feel different. The way you walk feels different. The way you talk to yourself feels different. The respect you have for your own word has become real, where before it was theoretical. You are no longer somebody who is hoping to become disciplined. You are somebody who has done it and is still doing it and intends to keep doing it. The being has taken over. The doing has dropped out. And on day 91, you wake up and do the three things, not because you have to, but because that is who you are now. That is the identity shift. That is the entire point of the plan. The disciplines themselves were never the prize. The identity was always the prize. You see, the disciplines are scaffolding. They are how you climb to the identity. Once you are there, you cannot get rid of them. They are now part of who you are. But the prize was never the scaffolding. The prize was the place the scaffolding got you to. I am telling you, this is the part most people never get to. They live their entire lives in the place where every disciplined act is a struggle. They never cross over to the side where the disciplined act is just who they are. And the difference between those two lives is enormous. You have to cross over. The crossing happens in phase 3 if you do the work. The crossing happens on the day when you wake up and realize you didn't have to convince yourself to do the discipline. You just did it, the way you put on your shoes. That small moment is the moment the identity has set. And from that place, everything looks different. The hard things that other people struggle with don't seem hard to you anymore. You have already shown yourself you can do hard things every single day. So the new hard thing is just another instance of what you already do. You've got to understand, once the identity is set, the bar for what counts as hard for you goes up, because you have a different reference for what you are capable of. So here is what I want you to carry with you. 90 days, 3 phases of 30, 1 discipline, then 2, then 3. Small, doable, same time every day, non-negotiable, no exceptions. At the end of 90 days, you will have built something almost nobody else around you has built. A structure of disciplines that runs on its own, that doesn't require willpower to maintain, that has shifted who you are at the level of identity. And then you keep going. Day 91, you do the 3 things. Day 180, you do the 3 things. Day 365, you do the 3 things. By the end of year 1, you have done each discipline more than 300 times. By the end of year 5, more than 1,500 times. The compounding has begun. The body has changed. The mind has changed. The bank account has changed. The work has changed. Everything downstream of those 3 small habits has changed. Here's the truth. 5 years from now, the person who does this is going to look back at the moment they started and recognize it as the most important moment of their adult life. Not because the moment itself was dramatic, because the moment itself was the day they laid the first plank of the road that took them to everywhere good they ended up. And the person who didn't do this is going to be sitting in roughly the same place they are now, wondering why nothing in their life has changed in 5 years, and telling themselves it's because the world is unfair, or the timing was wrong, or they didn't have the right opportunities. The world isn't unfair. The timing is never wrong. The opportunities are everywhere. The thing missing is the structure, and the structure is buildable by anybody, starting tomorrow morning in 90 days. Pick the one discipline. Start tomorrow. You have to pick the time and the place tonight before you go to sleep. You cannot wait until the morning to decide. The decision must be made now while you can think clearly, so that tomorrow morning, the only question is whether to do the thing, not whether to plan it. And the answer to whether to do it must be every single day, without exception. Yes. Do it for 30 days without missing. Then add the second, then the third. By day 90, you will be the person who has done what almost nobody around you has done. And the life you build on top of that foundation won't look like anything you have lived before, because the foundation is everything, and the foundation is yours to build. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, the version of you who started tomorrow morning is going to look back at this moment as the most important moment of their adult life. Not because the moment was dramatic, because the moment was the day everything else became possible. The day the structure started, the day the identity began to set, the day the willpower stopped being the engine and the structure took over. You have to be that person. You got to start tomorrow. Because the other version of you, the one who keeps waiting for the right moment, the right month, the right time, that version is going to wake up in 10 years and be in exactly the same place. And you cannot afford that. Not when the alternative is right there. Starting tomorrow morning with one small discipline, done without missing every single day. The structure does the rest.